Welcome to the Ian and Frank Show. Today's subject is global warming, also known as global climate change. I'm Ian Glass, and this is
Frank Steparno.
Thank you,
and we're here to talk to you today about global warming. Now, I bet you're wondering exactly what global warming is.
Well, global warming is when the temperature of the Earth rises.
And what can you do about this on your own? Beer cans.
Beer cans. You heard us right. We are talking about beer cans.
We're going to start with you right here in college. You're our target audience. This is who we're talking to.
So I'm guessing what you're thinking now is how can you prevent global warming?
What you first need to do is buy some beer. Preferably cans. Glass bottles also work, but they're not as recyclable. Although they do. Okay. What you first need to do after you buy the beer, by drinking beer, he is helping the environment in a very drawn-out and complicated way. After drinking the beer cans, you can crush it.
Now, how do you recycle them? That's what you're thinking. How do I do this? Once smashed, they take up a lot less room.
Get a bag. Start with that. A bag or a bin, some type of box. Any kind of container, basically, that'll fit beer cans.
While drinking, be sure to save your can tabs.
You can donate them to charity.
You can also save up a whole gallon of can tabs and get a keg.
A full keg. Which
full keg.
then can be recycled.
Also.
And go to the same cause that we're speaking of right now, which is saving the planet from global warming.
That's the big picture here, folks. Let's not forget that.
Don't forget it. Let's knock it off.
Okay, once
so you take your beer cans.
Save your beer cans.
Take them all. Just put them in the bag, box, whatever you're saving them in.
Tub.
Then
once you take them to the recycling.
It's full. Once it's full. Go ahead. Now you go.
Sorry, Frank.
All right, it's okay.
Once you take them to the recycling plant, you can get up to 5 cents for each can. Frank?
Where they will then be recycled
and used for any aluminum product. Aluminum is used for many things.
Cars?
It is used, nowadays it's used for cars, because aluminum is lighter than
beer
steel,
cans?
which is derived from
Soda
beer
cans? I thought this is the part where we just list aluminum products.
Aluminum products, which can be used for beer cans,
cars,
soda cans.
Soda can.
Yeah, and we can also use it for building materials.
Watches. Street signs.
It can be used for any, because aluminum does not rust, and it's still very strong. It is used for a lot of things.
TVs.
The next thing we need to talk about is
greenhouse gases being released into the atmosphere by human activities, like
these things all cause global climate change.
Driving a Hummer.
Coal-fired power plants, which emit lots of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide.
Smoking cigarettes, which is hazardous to your health, and also emits a lot of carbon dioxide and monoxide.
That is a very interesting point, Frank.
It is.
Other than these things, also mowing the lawn can even affect the global warming. Because lawnmowers are very, very inefficient vehicles.
Next slide.
Next slide. You hit the wrong button.
That's the timer. That's it.
That's good. What is the greenhouse effect? I know Frank was wondering this earlier in the day. So then, we decided to do some research on the subject.
The greenhouse effect is when the sun emits you. Let me start that over. The greenhouse effect is the sun
emits UV rays, which pass through the Earth's atmosphere and warm up the Earth's surface, which affects us and melts the glaciers.
The buildup of carbon monoxide
absorbs some of the heat, which in turn warms the atmosphere. I bet you kids at home did not know that. Other than these things, so I know you're thinking at home, can I do to prevent global climate change?
What can I, Frank, do to prevent global
What can I,
climate
Ian,
change?
do? Well, there is some very simple solutions to this problem, which is going to be an epidemic. Yes, there is, Frank. There is.
Let's list some.
Let's not list some. Let's discuss some of the ways to prevent global climate change. That's what I say.
One of the first things I would think of is carpooling.
Carpooling is very good because then, instead of one person driving each car, there can be 4 or 5 people in one car all driving to the same location.
Because in an average American sedan, you can fit at least 5 people. Now, imagine those 5 people are all driving separate cars.
It's 5
emitting
sedans.
5 times the amount of carbon dioxide and monoxide into the Earth's atmosphere, which is depleting our ozone layer by 5 times the amount that it could be. Now, take those 5 people, put them in one car, and drive the same distance. How much of our atmosphere are you saving?
That's 80%. Another way to do it, another way to prevent global climate change, not do it, because yeah. We could, instead of driving cars all together, you could ride a bicycle or walk to work. The bicycle is the most efficient vehicle of all because it's powered by a human. Another thing you could do is, think about it, turn off all computers, TVs, and lights when not using them. That way you're not wasting precious power for no reason at all.
Speaking of wasting precious power, Ian,
Yes.
the first thing I thought of when you said that is just reuse your book bags and books. Why did I think of that? You're
That
probably
comes
asking.
to mind.
It does come to mind. It's very obvious here. And the reason you should reuse them is just because the more book bags you buy, the more money you spend, which is just... You just have to produce more money to spend more money. And
You're not making sense.
in that case, they're
So let
cutting
me jump
down...
in here.
Listen. They're cutting down
I'm
trees to
listening.
make that money for you to spend, which in turn is reducing the amount of trees. Do you know what trees do for our atmosphere?
A lot.
They do a lot. Exactly right, Ian. They do a whole lot. Let's go over a little bit of what trees do for our atmosphere.
Trees convert carbon dioxide into oxygen, which we breathe.
Exactly. But they only do this in the daytime when the sunlight is out. That's just getting too
It's okay.
complex. That's just
Trees also...
basically what they do is just convert our carbon dioxide to
They
oxygen.
do a lot of other
We need
things.
that oxygen in our atmosphere. Let's keep it simple
But
here.
back to the ways you at home can prevent climate change. You can also recycle, which we've discussed.
We've thoroughly introduced this topic to our audience here
Yes.
by giving you the example of our beer can.
Another thing you could do besides recycle, you can also recycle glass and cardboard, by the way. You can use less hot water. Hot water is very expensive to create. Water does not hold heat very well. So it's expensive no matter if you're using coal, gas, electricity to heat this water. It is expensive, and you can use hot water in everyday things by turning